Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I wanted to talk about something that actually is a big, major issue for a lot of small businesses and solopreneurs, particularly when you decide to go online to sell what you do. And I wanted to devote a whole podcast to it. And I don't know how long this will be. It might be short. It might be quick. It might be long. Or we might be here for hours. But I see this problem and it's massive. It's causing so many challenges for small business owners. And I want to kind of just out some of the problems. So it is about what you sell. So typically we call it the offer, how you're packaging what you do. Now, every business has an offer. It's the package that conveys the value of your service. The problem is most people balls it up. And I wanted to kind of break down some of the common areas where people basically balls up their offer. And the amount of times I've had people talk to me about this, and you can see they're in absolute agony. And I don't know how to say to them, you might be causing this yourself. So just for clarity's sake, an offer is simply how you position and package your services, your products to sell them online. In other words, so that people see the immediate value to them. So I stumble across your offer and I'm intrigued by it and I understand, oh, this could be useful to me. It's that simple. That's what an offer is. It's something you go to market with to sell. And the idea is an offer makes it easier for you to sell. So I'm just going to walk through some of the things I tell people to do and some of the things that kind of go wrong. So I advocate that people post about their offer at least once per week. Now, some people might go, yeah, but nobody pays attention to it. I don't get engagement with it. It performs so poorly as content. That's all irrelevant. It's totally irrelevant whether it performs or not. Of course, it's perfectly natural that the post where you promote your services is going to bomb compared to the post where you put your puppy up. And look how cute the puppy is. That's what I'm trying to get at is people think because they put up their offer and it bombs, it's bad. It's not bad. If you think about a buyer journey, people don't buy because they see an offer. People buy because they get educated by an offer, and then the next time they see it, it becomes more interesting to them. So the consistency of putting out your offer helps people see, helps plant that thought, you can help me with this, you can help me with this. So on average, the marketing stat is somebody needs to see your offer 7 times before they ever decide to get interested in it. 7 times. So if you're putting it out once and going, it's not going to work. This is about being consistent. This is about playing a consistency game. It's not about one post changing the world. And we need to change our psychology. We need to change the way we think. Our offer is being put out there to define us in our market so that people know what we do and for who. So the big problem I see is you want more leads, you want more clients, you want more people to buy from you. You need to consistently present your offer. Don't hide it. Don't make it obscure. Don't try and make it into something that it's not. Tell people exactly what it is, the difference it's going to make to them, and do it like clockwork every single week. Come what may. If it bombs, it bombs. Try and get the best possible offer post out, but it's got to be a promotion for what you sell. Number one reason people don't sell something is because they're not telling people what they're selling. And I've coached hundreds of people, and I can tell you this is a massive deal. People do not do it. So here's a test for you. Scroll through your last 10 posts. Out of your last 10 posts, 2 of them should be offer posts. If they're not, you're not promoting your business. You're doing yourself a disservice. Trust me, you are doing yourself a disservice. And it's not about whether you get likes and comments. It's not about whether you get thousands of impressions. It's about whether some people, a tiny percentage of people, are stopping and consuming it and learning a bit more. It takes 7 times. The marketing stat is 7 times somebody needs to see something before they consider buying it. So that's the first thing. You're not promoting it consistently enough, so people are not consuming it, which means people are not being educated, you're not moving people down the funnel. You're not moving people down the funnel because you're not promoting your offer consistently. The next thing about the offer that goes wrong is no defined outcome. The outcome of your offer, in other words, I buy your service, I buy your product. How has my life changed? How has my business changed? What's the big transformation? And can I define it? Me looking at your offer, can I see whether that's valuable or not? See, we try and be clever and we try and appeal to everybody. And what happens is we can't clearly communicate the value. So if you said to me, if you were posting and you said, Dean, I can help you be more confident in 30 days so that you can speak on more stages, I can look at that and go, do I want to do that? Do I want to be more confident in 30 days so I can speak on more stages? Do I want that? And I can consider it because the defined outcome is clear. If you said to me, I can help you get on 10 podcasts in the next 90 days with at least 100,000 subscribers to the podcast, that's worth something to me. I'd be prepared to pay for that. So the offer statement, what we're leading with, it has to quickly show people, what am I going to gain from this? Not customer service and not this and not that. Tell me what the gain will be for me. I'm going to be on 10 podcasts with 100,000 audience in 90 days. Awesome. I'm up for that. So often what happens is we don't have a defined outcome. Now, here's where people struggle with the defined outcome. It's not because you can't give a defined outcome. It's because in your head, you don't want to. So what happens is, because you can appeal to this person and this person and this person and this person, and because you can give people this outcome, you decide not to. You try to create an offer that appeals to everybody. You try to appeal to person A and person B. You try to promote a defined outcome A and defined outcome B. You decide to promote defined outcome C. Here's the problem, right? That 7 rule, people consuming it. You've got to get them to consume it. So what happens is it's a fear. It's a fear of being specific. And so what happens is we don't focus on one outcome. Even though I could give people 20 different outcomes, I focus on one. I give people one. Because if that's what they really want, they'll sign up. So what happens is our fear, stuff that's going on inside of us, our inability to fix on one thing translates into an offer with an unclear, wishy-washy, undefined outcome. And then we go, oh, maybe people don't need that kind of training program or service or product. Maybe they don't need it. So what happens is because we're unclear in our offer, when we're putting it out, it erodes our confidence in what we're selling. That then means we don't promote it right, which means we get less confident. And so we go further and further. Or worse, that undefined outcome feeds back to us as maybe they don't want this, so I'll change my offer. So this is a common thing. This is not, if you're experiencing this, don't kind of throw yourself under the bus. A lot of people have this issue. So the lack of promotion, number one. Then the second one is an undefined benefit or a too broad a benefit or unclear. In other words, that the audience can't tell whether that's useful or not. Or there is some form of defined benefit, but the challenge is that the audience has to dig to get to it. It's not immediately obvious and quickly and easy for them to understand what it is. So a defined outcome that's measurable by the audience, not measured by you, not wrapped up in your complex world, but it's simple, in their face, clear to understand. So if you can help people get something in 90 days, tell them you can get it in 90 days. If you can help them get a specific number of things, tell them specific number of things. The more specific you get, the more people can quickly decide, is that useful to me? Is that not? I remember putting a post out and said, I can get you in front of 200 people in the next 30 days. If you want to know more, message me, right? I think there's a bit more to it than that, but I think I can get you in front of 200 of your ideal clients in the next 30 days. Message me for details. And people started to message me because the defined outcome was clear, not by me, but by them. And people could judge whether it was worth their effort, whether it's worth their time, and whether it was worth their investment based on, is that outcome clear? So when you're building your offer, you need to think about, if there's one clear thing at the end of this that they gain, people will pay for that. And then you can price to the value. So you price to the value it unlocks, rather than what happens is, obviously we make something and then think, how do we sell it? Who do we define the outcome from the very beginning? I'm going to, people do really well selling. Literally, I can create 30 days worth of content for you for the next month that will generate you leads. Okay, great. But you could also say, I've got a content creation service. Well, who cares about a content creation service? No, 30 days of content that will grow your audience, reach, and engagement. Ooh, that's a bit more interesting. So what we're trying to say is, make your offer value very, very clear, very, very obvious, some way that they can measure it. So it's not just a kind of very subjective view. So anytime there is, check with people and say, can you measure the impact this offer would have on your business? Go and ask a few people and say, what would be the obvious impact of this offer, this statement that says this is what I can do for you? And if you can't get an obvious impact, it's probably the wrong statement. The other thing that happens as well is, people, when they struggle to promote their offer and put their offer out there, their other content, their attract and nurture content, doesn't obviously connect. So in other words, one day they're talking about this, the next day they're talking about this. If your offer is about helping people grow on Instagram, your content should somehow link to growth and Instagram. So everything's tied together. You attract people, you nurture people based on your offer. So the key here is that your other content around the promotion of your offer actually helps support the offer. The nurture content, the useful content that's helpful to the audience, has to link together. The attract content needs to tie in together. So you've got to have content that's themed around your offer. Otherwise, it just doesn't work, because you're talking about disparate things. Final point. Your offer can help lots of different people. I can help lots of different people. But focusing on one group of people that want that defined benefit can help you massively, because you can tailor and focus your content and the whole piece to somebody in a particular industry or a particular role. So lots of people have similar problems in different industries. Yeah. But the problem is, we want to give people certainty that our offer is achievable for them. So if I said, right, I'm going to focus on marketing managers in manufacturing companies and show them how to do something, I can tailor the whole package and messaging, my examples, the stories I tell, the case studies I make, the testimonials I share. I can put it all together so it lines up with, oh, wow, Dean's offer about LinkedIn, they do a lot with manufacturing companies. The visuals I can use match up. So in other words, having a defined person or industry that offers for makes a huge difference. I can sell to lots of people. I can sell to every salesperson, every marketer that's on LinkedIn. But if I focus on marketing managers in construction or manufacturing or engineering or logistics, supply chain, it doesn't matter. If I focus on one of them, I will cut through the noise much more quickly, and they will see the relevance of my offer, because now all the bullet points and all the supporting information and the visuals, even the statement, I can make it clear that it's for them. Now, this is all common sense. It's all common sense, and people listening and watching to me will go, yeah, Dean, I know all this. Well, do it. You have to do it. You have to go and scrutinize your offer and say, is this clear? Is this measurable? Am I actually promoting this? Or am I saying I promote it, but then when I come to it, I avoid it? Am I actually making sure that this is defined for a person, an industry, to cut through all of the noise? Be honest with yourself. How much of your head, your internal speak, that thought process in your head, or that internal dialogue is talking you down from doing this? How much is it that you're putting out content that gets traction and then you avoid promoting your offer because you think there's something wrong with it? It's natural to have all of these thoughts, but if you let these thoughts persist, what you will find is you will struggle to cut through all of the noise. You will struggle to sell. You won't sell things, and then you'll come up with another offer, or you'll look for another strategy, and that will fail. I've met a lot of people who've built multiple offers, changed tactics, changed platforms, looking for the secret sauce, and all along, the problem is their offer was not clear. Their offer was not dialed in, and they were not committed to their offer. I'll give you an example. When I started, I had one training course. In fact, no, the first, I committed the same mistake I'm talking about here. I decided I was going to do strategy sessions for marketing teams and companies. And it was so unclear, it was so vague what I was selling. It was very difficult for people to see the value, for them to read a web page or to read a post and go, oh, this could be interesting. This could be good for us. It was really difficult because I had made it so broad, so nebulous, so catch-all, trying to appeal to everybody. And I was like, yeah, but this is what I want to do. And what happened is I didn't connect the dots between I was broad and my offer was broke, right? So what happened was I thought there was something people didn't want what I could do. That's what I thought. People did not want what I could do. And it wasn't that at all. I'd packaged it in an unpalatable package, a vague, broad, generic, catch-all, nice to have packaging. So the product, the service I was going to deliver was perfect for people, but the packaging was broad, vague, and hard to grab hold of. It was hard to see what's the benefit of this. Why would this make a difference? And it wasn't focused at any particular industry, any particular decision maker. So I had a perfectly good service to sell, but the go-to-market packaging was way off the mark, right? It's the equivalence of selling a great tea or coffee and putting it with fresh vegetables in the supermarket. It just was in the wrong place. It wasn't in the right place. Whereas if I put it into the right place where all the hot drinks are, I'm going to get more traffic and people are going to pay attention because I'm focused on people who want to go into that aisle. So I made this mistake. Then I decided I would focus and sell one thing. And I tidied it all up, got it really, really focused on one thing. And it was very, 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 very clear. even to this day, we sell this. And the first time I launched it, 7 people. 7 people. I was like, ugh. Actually, the first time, nobody. Second time, 7 people. Next time, 14 people. 2018, 5,000 people, right? What I'm saying here is that even with a defined, clear offer, you are going to have to push it out, stick to it, promote it, and push it out until people get the message. You are the person that helps them get that defined outcome. So you've got to push it. This is not about having options. This is about making something happen. Like an election campaign, right? You go into an election to win and you fight your damnedest to win. If your service is X, you adapt the packaging, you adapt how you present it to focus it so people grab hold of it and go, yeah, I want that. That's the commitment. So if you're struggling with your offer, if you're struggling to get it out there and get traction on it, it's probably one of these issues. So if you dig into what I've talked about in this podcast, you will find that either you aren't promoting it, it isn't clear and defined, you haven't focused on a core audience for that, and that's it. So before you start tinkering with different tactics, before you start changing what you're selling, before you start doing all of that stuff, ask yourself, is my offer the problem? And bring that internal speak that happens in the back of your head under control, because it will get you to tweak and change things, never really realizing that there's a disconnect between the value you see, because I know within a lot of people's services, there's something really valuable. But what happens is we don't clearly communicate that value to other people and then think there's something wrong with the service. It's the packaging. 90% of the time, it is the packaging that's the problem. So work on your offer and change those things that I've mentioned, and it will start to take off.